Hello, hello. This is for some of my reptilian friends who I know are likely watching or keeping an eye on me, and I thought to myself, well, if right now this is consistently who I'm watched by, according to Kryon, well, I should help minister to them. So. Oh, and also he says, if you want to, gamble or place some bets on who's gonna win between me and the IL, Alien versus Predator. Remember, I'm RH negative, even with the Arcturian thing, and grew the big humps and everything, whatever that was. It was like clean and everything. So Alien with me, like Predator versus Alien, Yael, Gray, who's gonna win? I think I'm gonna win. Me. Yeah, me. Um, and you guys have kind of like backed off, just like what Kryon said, which is like basically that they would try throwing stuff at you, and once they noticed it just stopped working, that everyone would kind of be at a standstill. They'd be forced to stop. And it's funny, guys, when you think about it. The argument doesn't even go back to you, even though I'm AB negative, RH negative, which is apparently really rare or whatever. Who cares? Um, the argument ended up going back to me pissing off a Yael guy who I didn't know was a Yael guy, and he kind of took the revenge part a little too far, and kind of did his calculations really wrong, so that you guys would get screwed over in the process. Or, even worse, he did his calculations really right and was intending to screw you over in the process. One of the two, either way, it's you getting screwed over in the process. So, the idea here is, we don't like getting screwed over. How do we stop getting screwed over? Well, the way you stop getting screwed over is, first of all, one of the things, this is going to sound like the New Testament a little bit, but do to others as you would have them do to you. So you don't really like it when someone walks down the street cackling that they've just stolen whatever from you or done something evil to you. Whatever it is, you can call it evil or good, whatever you want to call it. Something that you just don't like that makes you want to kick and scream. So when you put out that kind of intention, it comes back to hit you. So if you go doing that and cackling about it to people, well then they end up going back and hitting you back with it. I don't enjoy. I should say this another way. I enjoy being friendly to people. I dislike arguing with everybody that I live next to. It's not something that is preferred. It's not preferred. So what is preferred? Peace is preferred, but peace with ethics is preferred. But then begs the question, what is ethics? Then you get sucked into the satanic programming, or whatever program that you want to call it, of, well, it's my truth, and having a very dog-eat-dog type of society, despite being so very religious. These two things just don't go together anymore. And so, for what's happening with the humans on this planet, there's going to be the opportunity to ascend, or there will be some kind of split where many entities will be forced to leave in some sort of way. Where we will be in different spaces. Because the Earth, Gaia herself, has decided, along with humans, reptilians, or who knows, any of those really master the dark art Yaels out there, who knows, has decided that they want peace. The consciousness grid has fully decided okay, I know that I'm here, I understand my aliveness, and I want peace, and I want ascension, and I want activation, and I want this to happen. And so it's going about it right now in a sequenced kind of pattern. Yes, there's the program going off in different places trying to take everything out, but it's ultimately failing. Why? Because the larger consciousness grid is simply too big for HARP, for pollutants in our water and our skies, for all of these different things that are trying to inhibit us, but they will slowly fail. They will all basically systematically fail as more and more people pop online, as you could call it, to this kind of consciousness where one has a more expanded universal perspective. Just your understanding of that gives you the ability to affect change on your own reality sphere. Like, I was just looking at some stuff. I'm looking for stuff about good reptilians, since I've met two of them who actively wanted me to survive and tried to help me survive. And I was seeing a comment where a girl was saying, "Oh, I'm a female, and the males treat us like dirt. They treat us like shit." And I heard Kryon say, "Krista, that's right. That's right. You should talk about that. You should tell them about how the human women gained their independence, and how they are very equal to the men now." And actually, the way we've got it right now is we scared the guys so much that the guys are afraid to say stuff about girls or make a comment the wrong way, or the girl might say, "Oh, you're sexist," or something like that. Like, some of the guys are afraid of that kind of thing. Now, this is a little different in places like India, South Africa, where I was, horrible sexism, okay, and horrible racism also. But in the United States, where I am right now, we had extremely good relations between the different races, very little sexism, and I wasn't actually alive when this stuff was going on, so I can kind of reach back into that memory and try and talk about some of it. I know with women's rights, we have about 100-year head start probably on this. It was back in the early 1900s that women started to finally say, "Hey, we're helping you out in the war. We're going out there and we're actually, risking our lives to help bandage you up as the nurses. And, we're also, having babies at the same time on the battlefield. I mean, we deserve some rights, too. We should at least be able to vote about what happens if we're having to do all of this." Women were kind of painted as being, stupid and just at home taking care of the children. And at first, the women were like that, and they took pride in doing that. But then after a while, we began to become interested in different things over the generations. And more women became interested in wanting to work, in wanting to do things other than just stay at home and have children. So that's where we started to argue about the whole thing. Now, let's not talk about, the wanting to work thing, because that was something ultimately to help the whole program. But for, say, a woman like me, I'm not actually, working, say, a job very much outdoors, but that I'm one independent woman. I don't let a man step on me. I don't do what a man says just because it's a man saying it to me. So for the women, Kryon says address the females. Females meaning hybrids of all kinds. Because think about it, guys, mostly the way that you guys characterize the different races, it ends up all being hybridized in reptilian gene pool at this point. So whatever version of reptilian you are, as the guy that I was just listening to, Star God, was saying, be proud of it. And so whatever you actually identify yourself as, that doesn't really matter. What he was saying is, well, are you serving yourself or are you serving others? This is a good way to think of it, because you guys get a little too lost in the idea that you and the other person are the same thing. Yes, you and the other person are the same thing, but think about it very literally. If I come and punch you in the face, okay, if you and the other person are the same thing, that means the other person is going to punch you in the face. Now, that's the law of attraction. Is that something that you like? No, it's not something enjoyable. And so what happens is you end up drawing the negative things to yourself through the satanic programming, through the programming that was inflicted. But there are a lot of you who are starseeds of all kinds of types into the reptilian race as well. I mean, humans are an extraterrestrial race. We just think of ourselves as not, because we've been so used to not knowing that other planets existed. So if you picked us up and put us on some other planet, and for humans watching, being confused by that concept, that we are extraterrestrials too, if you're aware of the idea of, oh, I'm on a planet in a solar system, then there are those other planets and those people over there, or whatever, they look like whatever over there, like I went to South Africa and there were black people there that talked in a different way. Oh, there's that planet over there where so-and-so's over there and they talk a certain way. Same kind of thing. So they would call us extraterrestrial, because terrestrial just means on the ground. So literally on the ground. Whatever kind of entity or being you are, it doesn't actually matter. It's like, so Michael, he says, I'm getting say Michael Jackson, doesn't matter if you're black or white. So it doesn't matter also if you were born into the light or born into darkness. Technically, I was born into the dark side, and I didn't know, because I was supposed to be like a little light bulb, me and my brother. Now, for my brother, things got really tough, and for me, it was destiny, maybe it was luck, it's whatever you want to call it, but it is what it is, that the side of the light is piercing through the darkness, and that's how everything is expanding right now. So, it's part of my job to help introduce this to you guys. And this is a little bit shocking, because everything looked like, oh, we were going to win. Well, in order to fight back effectively, we had to let it look that way. But you guys are going to thank us afterwards. At least those of you who want to come are going to thank us afterwards for letting it look that way. I was really pissed off at the Arcturians for telling me so much weird stuff in the beginning, but it was so that I would survive being imprisoned by you guys, so that I could pull you guys out of jail. At least as many of you that actually want to get out of the jail. If you want to stay in the jail, that's fine. It's fine. A lot of you are going to stay there, probably, but you have to realize that that's your own making. In order to change to a different vibration, you don't have to suddenly be a vegan overnight, or suddenly know how to meditate. It's just as small as the thought, you know what, I don't believe any of this, but I'll try it. Okay, so I understand I create my own reality, so I'm going to think that I want peace, and if this light stuff, if it's real, if it will take me back, if, whatever this is, I don't know about this, but I'll give it a shot. If you're real, whatever thing, other stuff, if you're real, I guess, like show me. And it will. It will. You might have to say it a few times, because, if you're thinking, yeah, nothing's going to happen. Remember, the universe responds to your intent. So if you're thinking, oh, nothing's going to happen, nothing can save me or help me at all, then nothing will. You have to actually think about it as if you're really believing, well, I think there's a chance. it's probably BS, whatever this is, but there's a chance, this girl's still alive. I mean, we've been trying to kill her. We've been trying to throw everything at this chick, and she's still walking around. So, there's got to be something maybe to what she's saying. I don't know, but I'll try it out. How about I try it out? That's a message that Kryon would like to get across to most of our reptilian friends. So I will go now to my interesting vegetable dinner. And that's also something that's really hard to do, to get to being vegetarian or vegan or all that stuff. So Kryon would only attract my attention to changing the blood that's consumed, or the type of blood consumed, and how to slowly change that. But that's some stuff that I already talked about, and also kind of graphic for another time. So for those of you who are, if you feel suicidal, you feel like your life just sucks and you want to get out of it, but you get out of it and then you go to whatever fiery place where everything sucks more, and then you come back and it sucks, and you just do it over again, and there's a way out. There's a way out, and it's like, oh, when the saints come marching in, like the guy was playing right in there. Oh, when the saints come marching in. And so, yeah, we're like, yay, we're the saints, we're marching in. Hey, guys, free stuff for everybody. That's how it works. Yeah, you guys don't have to, you don't have to be unhappy anymore. Life doesn't have to suck anymore. There is a real God out there. There is a real love, light source that accepts everything, and that doesn't think you're a monster, doesn't think you're a devil, doesn't think you're a demon, doesn't think you're unredeemable forever, or other spooky, evil stuff. Unless you want to be spooky and evil, then you can keep being spooky and evil. But if you're tired of living in literal hell, then please proceed to the heaven. It's like right in front of you. Like, yeah, that's why we put me here, I guess, is the idea. So, yeah. And yeah, I know I look retarded. That's kind of part of the idea, because this is just spontaneous stuff that I do. So, all of you guys, I hope you're going to have a good night. And I hope that you all are blessed. Namaste.